Hello, this is Crafty Nita, and I wanted to show you my latest dollhouse creation. I had taken some thrifted toy homes. They were all bright colors of pink and teal, and I painted them. And this one here I think was a little doghouse or something. And this one didn't have a back on it, and I put a back. Anyway, I took them all and painted them. Added the stone from Dollar Tree, little park bench from Dollar Tree. I also had the Temu urns and thrifted and antique shopped little tiny furniture. That one's a Dollar Tree. There's Temu. I also made, let me see if I can get a good light in here, a tiny lamp out of a toothpick and a lid. And I used scraps of my wallpaper. I was trying to use stuff that was in my stash. I had some pictures I had printed off and didn't use in another house, so I put them in here. They're just beautiful colors, nice and soft. Now these windows came from a plastic toy from Dollar Tree. I just popped them out and used them. I used them in a couple of places. I didn't use the door, but I could use the windows. I added all kinds of greenery, just moss, and you can see rocks, and there's flowers and mushrooms and vines. And I just tried to cover up the toyness of it as much as possible. Added a little window box here, flowers, and some fairy garden things. Now this is a fairy garden pathway. This is actually the plastic packaging. I painted it as well and used it, and the same with this stairway. I bought them and used the pieces and kept the packaging. And in here you can see I used packaging to make a tiny refrigerator. I don't know if you can see that in there. It's like a bubble from a medication for the sink top, and then there's a little piece of plastic trash for the bottom. And I think this one was a little dog house or something. Anyway, I just painted them, added lines, accented things that looked more like stone, scraps of wallpaper. These are beads. They come out and be the lights. And I used cardboard from cereal boxes to make my shingles. Re-roofed some things. I just think they turned out really cute. Did tiny books. This is the living room or sitting room. And it just turned out really pretty. I had a free printable for a background, and I used it in the windows. I don't think you can see that very well, but it just shows little flowers, like a garden. And I just think it turned out really cute. I have a tiny owl here, little mushroom owl. I'll stand up here and let you see the top. I don't know if you can see it very well. Try to move the house. Keep it in the light here if I can. Can you see? There we got a tiny bed, a wardrobe, and a little chair. There's also a little footstool. You can't really see them. I don't know if it'll show very well through here. Some tiny tulips. Let's see if I can get a good lighting here. There you go. There's the chair and footstool. Again, there's little books. Now if you look here inside, I built bookcases and filled them full of books. So they have a library, cozy reading nook. They have a bedroom. Let's see if we can show you the tiny bathroom. I don't know if that can be, I don't know if I can show it or not. It's a little vintage Let's see if I can get my light just right. This is tricky. Oops. But there's a tiny sink. Tiny, oh, there we go a little bit. You can see that? Tiny sink, tiny tub. And I made the tiniest of toilets. Just painted it the same color. It's a bead and a piece of wood. A piece of paper for the lid. And I'll show you from the back. This is not the best video. So sorry, jostling you all over the place. That's another window used from another house, tore apart. Anyway, there is the rest of the kitchen. You see little shelves with the bottles on the shelf and the little stove to cook on. Now also went ahead and wired it with some fairy lights. And I'll try to turn those on so you guys can see. Let me put that light away. And I don't know if I can get this one over here or not. There, the whole thing is lit up now. And at night it looks fabulous. And I got this little tiny doll from an antique shop. She has hair. She's smaller than a little kiddo, so I'm not quite sure what she is. She has really elaborate clothing, hairstyle, some flowers in her hair. Just cute as can be. Let's tuck her in here. I kept the one mushroom on the tree that was embossed. Just used it as my inspiration. Didn't want to erase completely what these had been originally. They were toys and just glued pieces on together. It's all about the glue. E6000 and fabric glue are my two favorite. They both work pretty quickly, and then I use a little bit of hot glue. But anyway, I just think it is so pretty. It kind of reminds me of old ruins or something, but then it's open to the sky and the forest. And I think I would love to live here. All these places to just sit and read a good book. There's even a book here. Little flames to keep you warm. That was a gift from my son and daughter-in-law. And tiny basket with some moss in it. I got some lights in here, just taped them up to the ceiling. There's your dining room, just such a pretty room. Painted the furniture. It was, I believe, bright blue and made it green, soft green. This was hot pink, and I used a piece of dryer sheet or something as a little throw. And more books. And a upholstery sample for the rug. I also had scraps of flooring left over from other projects, and I was able to glue those in. And they just turned out so cute. And my daughter gave me the idea to put the kitchen down here, so put some scrap of flooring in there as well. A little piece of, it's not cardstock, it's that mat board. That's what it was. It works really well to build things with, but I just use cereal box to make the bookcases. An actual cardboard, corrugated cardboard for the books with free printables just glued on. But they fill it nicely. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tour. It didn't make you dizzy. I really enjoy making them. I found this one quite the challenge. It's more construction than I'm used to, but I really enjoyed it. I'm glad to have it done in all these really small scale miniatures. I think they're 1/24ths. I think that's what they are. They're really small. And I think it's nice to have them in a home. Just make my home just all cozy. Anyway, thanks for coming for the tour. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.